Now there's a few things that the Format dialog box won't cover at all. And for those things, you're going to have to head back to the Home ribbon. Let me choose some text in this chart, perhaps the numbers along the left-hand side. We can now go to the Home ribbon and use any of the formatting commands there to format the text in the selection. For example, if I want to change these numbers to blue, I have a whole palette of different blues to choose from. In fact, I'm not just limited to the built-in colors. I can choose more colors and choose from any of the 16 million colors available. Now let's move on to the next sheet, the Home Formatting ribbon. Now again, if you'd like to stop the user interface, you can experiment with some of the other formatting you can do. I want to show you something really amazing though. If you remember WordArt from Excel 2003, it's possible to take any text in a chart and make word art out of it. I'll choose the labels along the bottom of the chart. On the Format tab of the ribbon, we have Word Art Styles and Word Art Effects. The effects that are available from the Word Art dropdown include shadow, reflection, glow. Unfortunately, you're not able to use transform, which is the classic Word Art effect, but it's pretty amazing that you can take any chart and jazz it up using Word Art. Now let's move on to gradients and we'll look at the other formatting that you can do on the Format tab. Let's click on the chart. Select an element of the chart, such as the red columns. On the Format tab, there's two very important drop-downs. The first one is Shape Fill. Shape Fill will allow you to change the color of any rectangular shape. If I don't want the series to be red, because red usually indicates a monetary loss, I can choose some other color that looks good. Now, Shape Fill is used for any rectangular areas. An interesting rectangular area is the plot area. That's the white space behind your chart. I'm going to click inside of the chart, but not on a grid line and not on a column. If you're unsure, you can always use the Current Selection drop-down to choose Plot Area. Now, the obvious settings within Shape Fill are to change the plot area to a different color. But the interesting settings are down at the bottom. Let's take a look at the gradient setting. I'm actually going to bypass all the built-in settings and go straight to More Gradients. In the Format dialog box, I'll choose Gradient Fill and one of the presets. Click Close. I've created sort of the blue sky chart. There are over a dozen different presets and various options where you can change the gradient from top to bottom, left to right, right to left. If you're trying to create eye-catching charts in PowerPoint, using a gradient is a great way to go. Let's move on to the Image tab. Now here, instead of rectangular areas, we have lines. Choose the chart to select it and choose the red line. Instead of using Shape Fill, we now need to use Shape Outline. You can choose a different color from the colors there. There are also options at the bottom to change the weight or the dashes of the line. If you need to add your company logo as a watermark behind the chart, it's easy to do. Select the chart area, go to Shape Fill, and choose Picture from the bottom of the menu. Choose your company logo and click Insert. You'll notice that every chart that we create has a thin black border around the chart. If you want to get rid of the black border, you have to use the Shape Outline setting. Click somewhere on the chart, but make sure not to touch any other elements. In the Current Selection dropdown, we'll see the chart area is selected. Go to Shape Outline and choose No Outline. Now when you click away from the chart, your chart will appear to float above the worksheet without the border. Well, that's a wrap-up of the different ways that you can format your chart. As we go through other charting examples in this lesson, I'll show you some of the other settings available deep in the Formatting dialog box. For now, I'll close this file.